At my daughter's sweet 16, my sister took the mic and declared that the party should be for her instead. My daughter, Sarah, just smiled and said, "Then you're going to love the surprise." My sister's reaction was a mix of shock and anger when the DJ made the announcement. I never expected my daughter's sweet 16 to turn into a battleground, but looking back, I should have seen it coming. My younger sister, Amanda, had always been the center of attention, at birthdays, weddings, and even funerals. If the spotlight wasn't on her, she found a way to drag it back. It was draining, but for years, I excused her behavior. "That's just Amanda," I'd say. "She doesn't mean anything by it." But this time, she went too far. Sarah had been eagerly anticipating her sweet 16 for years. She worked hard to earn it, maintaining straight A's and balancing extracurricular activities. I wanted to make her night unforgettable, so I saved up for a beautiful venue in New York, a rooftop ballroom with an incredible skyline view. It wasn't an extravagant millionaire-style party, but it was elegant, tasteful, and exactly what Sarah had dreamed of. Everything was perfect: the decorations, the food, the music. Sarah was glowing in her blue satin dress, surrounded by her friends as they danced. I stood off to the side, beaming with pride when Amanda appeared from nowhere, holding a microphone. I didn't even see her grab it. One moment, the DJ was playing Sarah's favorite song, and the next, Amanda's voice blared through the speakers. "This party," she slurred, clearly having been drinking, "should be mine." A tense silence filled the room. Sarah froze, turning to look at her aunt. Amanda swayed slightly, face twisted with fury. 16 years ago, she continued, I was supposed to have a party like this, but did I get one? No. Instead, she pointed at me, she got pregnant and ruined everything. The room collectively gasped. Cancel it. I want the money for a trip instead. I heard my dad groan. We've already paid for your dress, the caterer, and the DJ. Then unpay them, Amanda demanded. I don't want a lame party, I want a trip, and if I don't get it, I'll make everyone's life miserable. The video cut off. Then, all chaos broke loose. People gasped, whispered, and my mom sat with her hand over her mouth. Dad sighed and rubbed his temples, a gesture I had seen 1,000 times in frustration. Amanda stood frozen before suddenly lunging for the mic again. That's not, she started. But no one was listening because, for the first time in my life, my mother stood up and shouted, Amanda, enough. Amanda fell silent. Mom marched toward her, face flushed with anger. You demanded we cancel your party, you threw a tantrum for weeks, and now, 16 years later, you're blaming your sister for something you did. Amanda shook her head violently. No, I deserved a party, I was just a kid. You were spoiled, Mom snapped, and you still are. The room was dead silent again. Amanda looked around, expecting someone to take her side, but no one did. Her friends avoided her gaze, and even the DJ seemed uncertain about what to do. My husband shook his head in disbelief. Then Sarah, calmly, with a sweet voice, said, Wow, Aunt Amanda, I really thought you'd love the surprise. Amanda's face turned bright red. She grabbed a glass of champagne and hurled it across the room in a fit of rage. It shattered on the floor. That's when all hell broke loose. The second the glass hit the floor, the chaos was unstoppable. Guests gasped, some backed away, while others stood frozen. The waitstaff halted in place, unsure of whether to continue serving or start cleaning up. Amanda was trembling with fury, her fists clenched. For a moment, I thought she might throw something else, maybe a plate or a centerpiece, but before she could, my mother grabbed her wrist. Enough, Mom hissed, teeth gritted. You've embarrassed this family one too many times. Amanda yanked her arm free. Oh, I'm embarrassing the family? What about her? She pointed at Sarah, seething. She just humiliated me in front of everyone. Sarah tilted her head, speaking calmly. You humiliated yourself. Amanda screeched, then turned on me. And you, she yelled, jabbing her finger at me. You planned this, didn't you? You let your little brat set me up. I exhaled deeply, forcing myself to stay composed. Amanda, no one set you up. You did this to yourself. All Sarah did was remind you of something you said 16 years ago. Amanda screamed. I was a kid. And yet here you are, still acting like one, my dad said sharply. His words cut through the room. Amanda's eyes widened in shock. Dad rarely raised his voice. When he spoke, people listened. And right now, he was done with her tantrums. You're 32, he said, shaking his head, and here you are, throwing a fit at your niece's sweet 16 because you're not the center of attention. Do you even hear yourself? Amanda opened her mouth to argue, but as she looked around the room, she saw no one was on her side, not her parents, not her friends, not the guests, even people who didn't know the full story could tell she was losing control. That's when she panicked. She turned to her husband, Matt, desperation in her eyes, but he simply stared back at her. Exhaustion etched across his face. That was the first time I noticed just how worn out he looked, like he'd been enduring this behavior for years. Matt, Amanda whispered, pleading. He rubbed his face and sighed deeply, then, in a calm, measured voice, he said, I'm done. Amanda flinched. What? I'm done, he repeated, with this, with you. The room fell silent. Amanda laughed nervously. Matt, babe, you're just mad. I'm not mad, he said quietly, I'm embarrassed. The words hit her like a slap. You ruined your niece's party, he continued. You made a scene over something that happened 16 years ago, and when things didn't go your way, you tried to break things. He shook his head. I can't do this anymore. Amanda's hands trembled. You don't mean that. Matt stared at her, then turned and walked toward the exit. Amanda's breath caught. Wait, Matt, but he didn't stop. And then, before anyone could react, Amanda ran after him, but halfway to the door, her heel slipped on the champagne she'd just thrown. She didn't just stumble, she collapsed hard. Gasps echoed through the crowd as she hit the floor, the thud reverberating across the ballroom. For a moment, no one moved. Then Amanda let out a loud wail, not of pain, but of humiliation. She sat on the floor, her dress soaked, her hair a mess, makeup streaked down her face. She looked pathetic, and the worst part? Matt didn't even turn around. He walked out the door, leaving her behind. Amanda sobbed, but no one rushed to help. Not her parents, not her friends, not even me. For the first time in her life, she realized that she had lost it all. Sarah walked over to me, took my hand, and whispered, best birthday ever. I couldn't help but laugh, but this wasn't over yet. The next day, Amanda did something none of us could have predicted. I woke up the following morning, expecting a phone call. I figured Amanda would be crying to our parents, or maybe texting me some angry, long message about how I set her up. I was ready for the fallout, but what I wasn't prepared for was what she actually did. By noon, my phone was blowing up, not from Amanda, but from everyone else, my cousin, my aunt, even my coworkers. People who weren't even at the party were messaging me. Did you see what Amanda posted? Check Facebook now, she's lost it. My stomach dropped. I opened Facebook, and the first thing I saw was her post, a long, dramatic rant. She had tagged everyone, me, our parents, even Sarah. My heart sank as I started reading. She had completely twisted the entire situation. According to her, we were the villains. She claimed I had always been jealous of her and had purposely gotten pregnant to steal the attention from her sweet 16. She went on to say our parents forced her to cancel her party for me, and that I had never apologized. Then, she accused Sarah of masterminding the entire event to publicly humiliate her, with our parents standing by and allowing it to happen. She called me vindictive, Sarah cruel, and our parents weak, and at the end, she declared, I have no choice but to cut these toxic people out of my life. If you support them, unfriend me now. She was playing the victim, and it was working. In minutes, there were dozens of comments from her friends, people who hadn't even been at the party, saying things like, I can't believe your family would do this to you. You deserve so much better. Cut them off. You were right to stand up for yourself. Shame on them. I felt my blood boil. How was she so good at manipulating the truth? Sarah walked into the room, rubbing her eyes. Why is my phone blowing up? I showed her the post. She read it silently, and then, to my surprise, she laughed. I stared at her in disbelief. You're laughing? Sarah grinned. Oh, Mom, let her dig her own grave. Confused, I asked, what do you mean? She took my phone and scrolled down to the comments, looked past the people blindly supporting her. Keep going. I did, and that's when I saw it. People who were actually at the party were calling her out. Amanda, that's not what happened. I was there. You embarrassed yourself. No one did that to you. Wow, so you're going to ignore the fact that you threw a glass across the room? Even Mom had commented, Amanda, you demanded we cancel your party. No one forced you. We have video proof. Stop lying. Amanda responded to the comments, but she wasn't defending herself, she was attacking. Oh, now I'm the liar? You were all silent when I suffered for years. You've all been brainwashed. If you're siding with them, You were never my real friend, good riddance. And then came the final nail in her coffin. Sarah pulled up a video. Someone at the party had recorded her meltdown and posted it. It showed everything, the mic grab, her drunken rant, the champagne glass shattering, Matt walking away. It was all there, and the video had already gone viral. Sarah smirked. So, how do you think Aunt Amanda will spin this one? I sighed, shaking my head. She can't. But Amanda didn't give up that easily. After her Facebook post backfired, she escalated things. First, she sent our parents a series of insane messages. You are dead to me. I hope you enjoy your perfect daughter and granddaughter because I'm never speaking to you again. You ruined my life. I hope you can live with that. Then, she came after me. She left me 5 angry voicemails in a row, each one worse than the last. In the first, she screamed that I had set her up. In the second, she claimed I had brainwashed Sarah into hating her. By the third, she was sobbing, claiming no one had ever loved her. I ignored her, so she showed up at my house. I was in the kitchen when I heard the banging on my front door. Bam, bam, bam. Then her voice, high-pitched and furious, open the damn door, you coward. Sarah looked up from her phone. Wow, she really doesn't learn, huh? I sighed. Stay here. I cracked the door open. Amanda stood there, wild-eyed, mascara streaked down her face. Her hair was a mess. Give me the video, she demanded. I stared at her. What, the party video? The one Sarah showed? You know I have the full thing. She gritted her teeth. I want it now. I raised an eyebrow. And why would I give it to you? Her face twisted in anger. Because if you don't, I'll make your life a living hell. I actually laughed. Amanda, you've been trying to do that for years, and look where that's gotten you. Her face turned beet red. I swear. Mom, Sarah interrupted. She stepped into the doorway, holding up her phone. Just so you know, I'm live streaming this, in case Aunt Amanda wants to rewrite history again. Amanda's eyes went wide, and she let out a frustrated scream before storming off. I closed the door, locked it, and turned to Sarah. She's not done, I said. Sarah smirked. Neither are we. The revenge. At first, I wasn't sure how to handle Amanda. Cutting her off seemed like the best option, but part of me wanted her to face the consequences. That's when Sarah came up with the perfect plan. Aunt Amanda hates being embarrassed, right? She asked. More than anything, I nodded. Sarah grinned. Then let's make sure she never forgets this. And that's exactly what we did. Since Amanda had so much to say online, we made sure the truth stayed front and center. Sarah's friend, the one who had recorded Amanda's meltdown, posted the full video across every social media platform, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, and because the internet loves a good downfall, the video went viral. Millions of views. People commented things like, "This is the most satisfying downfall I've ever seen." Imagine being this bitter over a birthday party from 16 years ago. The fact she demanded a trip to Paris instead of a party makes this 10x funnier. The internet destroyed her. People found her public Facebook and started calling her out. Even her old classmates messaged her, reminding her of how spoiled she had been. Her friends began distancing themselves. But the real blow came when her employer, a real estate company, saw the video. Reputation was everything in her line of work, and now she was infamous for being completely unhinged. They fired her for unprofessional behavior. She lost her job, her reputation, and 2 weeks later, Matt filed for divorce. He had reached his breaking point after years of dealing with her selfishness, and the public humiliation was the final straw. He took everything, house, car, everything. Amanda had nothing left. And just like that, she finally faced real consequences for the first time in her life. The final goodbye. Months passed, and no one in the family spoke to Amanda. She was completely cut off. Then, one day, I got a letter in the mail, no return address. I opened it and immediately recognized Amanda's handwriting. It was a long, rambling letter about how I had ruined her life, how it wasn't fair, how I had turned everyone against her, and at the very end, in big, angry letters, she wrote, "I hope you're happy." I stared at those words for a long moment, then I smiled, because for the first time in a long time, I was. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Stay stunned.